I want to get this on record so that 15, 16 days from now, if Hillary Clinton gets elected president of the United States, down the road, folks can look back on what I laid out. And by the way, these aren't predictions. These are facts I'm stating. Because according to Wikileaks and even Democratic Party statements, we know what's going to be done here in the United States. But more importantly, we've seen the very same global management system that has been set up and established carry out a program of artificially impoverishing people across the world. The IMF and World Bank documents got leaked in 2002. Just Google Sticklets, IMF World Bank documents, 2002, they'll come up. How the central banks have already bankrupted third world countries and created permanent artificial giant underclasses so that they're easily controllable. That's the plan repackaged under modern environmentalism being deployed across the West, where Obama lands in a big giant jumbo jet but tells Africans they can't have cars and air conditioning or the earth will overheat. This is a new form of feudalism where they can control the resources and selectively tax what they want. Now, Hillary has said that she's going to raise taxes on the middle class. She's even publicly said it. She said she's going to raise it on, quote, rich people as well. And she's got Warren Buffett and George Soros always saying, oh yeah, I'm rich, I don't pay enough. That's because they wrote the loopholes where they're the biggest beneficiaries of banker bailouts with taxpayer money. And then they're basically exempt from all the taxes. So they're scamming people big time, just like Obamacare. Hillary wants a consolidated economy. They want to break the American people and force us into an engineered system. And so they're using selective regulations to do that. And that's mainstream news. That's not debatable. An example is thousands of big companies got Obamacare waivers, but the small and medium-sized ones didn't. And so I'm having to lay folks off to be able to get the other people Obamacare. Or I'm having to go from full-time to part-time. And that's what's happened. We're becoming a permanent, underemployed nation that are renters. And that's the actuaried model. That's what feudalism is. And that's what the UN and others call this modern system we're going under. So make no mistake, the reason the elite hate Trump is that they've leveraged American power to build a big private corporate world government that's almost complete. And now they see Trump coming in. He knows China has a 35% on average. It fluctuates every day, 33, 37, tariff on their currency being way below the dollar. Now, if we don't let them do that, then it's more fair. Then they have a 10% lower corporate tax than we do. That means everybody moves their jobs there, not here. So less tax money gets paid. That's not debatable. The media thinks you're dumb and says, oh my God, Donald Trump, he's a rich, mean guy. He wants to cut corporate taxes. No. He uses the same corporate strategy they use to pay almost none. He's telling you about the trick. And they go, well, then how dare you do the trick? He's like, I'm playing according to these rules, dumbasses. I mean, really, folks, this is so 101 that I guess Gruber's right, the guy that wrote Obamacare. Thank God the public's so stupid. I mean, he thinks you're an idiot. I think you're not. I know libertarians and people and business owners get this, okay? And Republicans claim they get it, but always seem to raise taxes as well because they want to consolidate control. And they work with the Clintons and others, just like the Bushes. It's a dynasty. But this is incontrovertible, that you're going to see the economy further vertically integrated, consolidated, more land grabs, more industry being shut down, more regulations, more coal plants, quote, bankrupted. A lot of folks say, I don't know any coal, I don't care. It's why we used to have the cheapest energy in the world. Now it's super expensive. They've already shut half of them down. And by the way, they're totally clean. You look at a Chinese power plant, it's just a small smokestack in the turbine. You look at ours, are these big giant, looks like little cities. That's a scrubber. Everything is made clean. Only water and carbon dioxide come out the top. So they go, oh, we'll tax carbon dioxide now. You see, everything is about shutting us down. And again, even if you believe all that, China and India and Mexico are making zero cuts. See, so everything is about how do you conquer America, the richest country in the world? You bring in regulations to send it all overseas, which you own and control. And then you make people gatekeep through your agencies and institutions to be able to have any industry or jobs. And thus, you're able to let your friends be exempt so they consolidate control. This is classic economic takeover. The establishment's written countless books about it. It's not a secret. In the Financial Times of London and The Economist and the Washington Post, they all say, globalism's in trouble. People realize we've been robbing everybody. If Hillary falls, just like the Brexit pulled out of the EU, this will cause a chain reaction, bringing down world government. And so they say in the WikiLeaks emails, look them up for yourselves. Global government's in trouble. We got to keep people dumb. We got to keep them distracted. We got to keep them in the dark. We got to keep them low information. But it's not working. What do? And they say, it's time to go to serious measures, cultural, demographic warfare. That's all this race war crap. And 20-something movies the last few months coming out about black people being oppressed, and opening old wounds, is to create destabilization. This is scientific. And the scientific technocrats that know that Trump wants to bring back real prosperity and isn't out to get this country, they are totally against him, and it's never been cleared. So listen, it's time for the pseudo-intellectuals that, we're the cool nerds, we took over, that's the cosmology. Give money to your local, NPR, KUT Austin. You're a cool nerd. You're smart, unlike everyone else. Listen to my soothing voice. You've arrived. You're part of the establishment. Get in your new coffin apartment, 200 square feet. Pay us more taxes than anyone else does, for a 1,000-footer. Oh, and get your new car to go. You're smart. You're cool. You're austere. You're not having kids because humans are bad. You've been fed this self-loathing program that's actually going to kill innovation and kill a clean environment we could have and cause all sorts of societal destabilization. It's being set up that way. This is command destruction program. So please understand, they can take what we say out of context and snip it together to make us look silly. That's fine. I don't mind being demonized and attacked. The truth is we're changing the world. And let me give the trendies, because I'm just talking to you straight. That's your identity. I've got to try to shatter that. It's like you were in some cult or something. You have to understand, our average video now gets about 300,000 views. We put out about 60 a day. Okay? We have 5 billion views on the different channels and sub-channels and all aggregated together on YouTube alone. 5 billion. 3 million people on terrestrial radio a day. What am I getting at? Paul Watson had a video 2 weeks ago with 16 million views. He had another one with 8 million views, a couple others with a few million views. We had videos this week, press conference we did, that has 3 million views on one channel, 2 million on another, 1 million on another, 500,000 on another, 200,000 on another, and then on somebody else's channel that just picked up the press conference, over 20 million. With Danny Williams, Bill Clinton's a reported son. The point is, CNN doesn't have that many viewers in 4 or 5 days. It's over. The facade's over. NPR nationwide every day might have 20 million listeners. We do videos every day that are reaching that. I'm just letting you know that we don't put on the big pomp and circumstance and the big production. We just talk from the heart with facts, and we are the future. Not liberal, not conservative, but populist, Americana, Renaissance. That's true liberalism. That's what the West was about, where women were empowered, where the archetype of the goddess was supported. And then they point to the West and say, we're the suppressor of women, and we're the non-liberals and all this crap. That's an authoritarian takeover, folks. They're taking down Martin Luther King quotes at major colleges off the walls because he says all God's children and red, white, yellow, all of it, black. And they go, that says God, and it doesn't involve the transsexual. Just like language can't be of its own. I can't have a mother and father and put that on an entrance paper because having a mother and father is hurtful. See, it's all this assault just on humanity. It's a scientific destabilization program. And they admit that's what it is. The open borders, they're letting cholera in and tuberculosis that's drug immune and syphilis and all these other flesh-eating bacteria. But it gets worse. Leprosy. 5 years ago, you can look it up, I got criticized for saying leprosy was exploding. Because I talked to the doctors, they're covering it up all over the country. Now it's mainstream news, leprosy in the schools. And then they let the kids stay in the class now with leprosy, saying, well, it'd be racist to take them out. And American flags can't be worn on kids' shirts because it might hurt somebody's feelings. This is beyond a Jim Jones cult, folks. And it's scientific. These aren't misguided liberals doing this. They know they're setting the precedent to get away with anything they want. So listen, you've been warned. It'll be a rocky road with Brexit and Trump and other things that are happening. They're certainly not perfect, but they're not out to get us. We go down this road and we ratify tyranny. We let them steal the election because the evidence shows Trump's going to win, but they're putting out this lie that it's not good for him to contest something that's clearly fraud. Look at the whole history of election fraud. You're supposed to forget that. And he's so crazy for raising it, beforehand when John Kerry did and Al Gore did. Come on, folks. These are facts. You can't be delusional and just ignore them. And the truth is, If people are claiming I'm crazy and I'm nuts about all this and the Wikileaks don't exist and I was wrong about NSA spying, I was wrong about aspartame, and I was wrong about vaccines, and I was wrong about Hillary running ISIS, of course we broke all that, we've proven correct, then that means the whole world's becoming delusional, and you, that small minority that still are in reality, are on a shrinking island, because all the big polls show 90+% of Americans believe the government killed Kennedy. So see, it's only like 8% of you that still are sane. And the rest of us are crazy. They have these big Hollywood shows where they have dozens and dozens of actors and actresses saying, it's time to turn the guns in, or it's time to vote for Hillary. But you go look at the YouTube videos about it, no one's even looking at it. Obama puts out YouTubes, the average one has like 5,000 views. Same thing with Hillary, she has no crowds. It's all an illusion of delusionals involved in grand falloons, believing that they're in the trendy, cool club, and you're not. You're not. You've got some archetype that I'm a guy in a checkered sweater at the country club going, oh, I like the Republicans, I'm a blue blood. And you're all the trendy, cool folks. It's the blue bloods running Hillary and running the Bushes. I want to defeat their system. I want real prosperity. I'm out for the little guy. I'm an American. I've built my own media empire individually, working with listeners. I'm successful. That's the proof of the pudding. Look at it. Research it. In my last video, I made this point, but I'm going to close with this one. I know so many people whose widowed mothers are being taken by online scammers who they think are forming an online relationship with them, and then they milk them for money before they ever even meet them. And I know people tell their mothers this, and they won't listen, because it's like fantasy land, and they're going to meet this guy, and they've got to fly him to the U.S., and it's going to be so great. You can even show them the scam and show them how it's done online. They won't listen because they want to believe in the fraud. And I remember the Nigerian scam where they send you an email for 20 years. It's been happening. Everybody knows about that one. And they always want a little more money to send you the big sum later. And you're so flattered that Prince Abubu, or Babipi, it's always one like that, is offering you $1 million for $10,000, you send him the 10 grand. And when your family tells you, or your friends tell you it's a scam, that isn't really a prince, shut up. You're just jealous of the fact that I'm getting the money from Prince Abubu. This now physically happens in Austin, Texas. I have been out at a music venue with Mike Judge, of all people, not name dropping, to hear some great blues music. And everyone in East Austin goes, oh my God, they're here. It's the Nigerian princes. And everyone goes, sir! Everyone's bringing them food and drinks, kissing their ass. And they pulled up a bunch of old crappy Cadillacs, and it was all just a scam, everyone kissing their ass. That's like the Queen of England wearing this crown we all bow down to her, or Kim Jong-un. It's all an appeal to authority. It's a smokescreen. It's a scam. Those weren't Nigerian princes. Obamacare isn't free. It's a scam. They admit it's a scam. We have the Wikileaks. Hillary talks about interventions of Trump voters. What about interventions for you? But you can't keep a fool from jumping off the cliff. So I'm just here laying out a testament and a fact of what's going to happen in the new Hillary economy. It's going to be horrible, but they're going to tell us it's the best economy we've ever had, just like Obama has been saying for the last 8 years. Well, that's it for this transmission. Infowars.com/show. If you want to find all the free feeds and share them with people, because the awakening's happening. Even if they're able to sneak Hillary in, which I don't think is going to happen, or still the election. This is an incredible time to be alive, and it shows the wave of awakening is just intensifying, getting bigger, and time is on our side. But it's going to be very interesting if they try to steal the election. We know if Trump gets in, there'll be claims of fraud. And they should be looked into as well, because this stuff's real. People do it without the candidate knowing sometimes. But Soros has got people ready to burn this country down, folks. We can't give in to that terrorism. But what happens if they steal it from Trump? And we know there's evidence. 15 days, folks, and we'll be covering it all. What happens? What happens if they steal it? Tomorrow, 4 to 6 p.m., that'll be the main topic, Infowars.com.